Hello there, beloved Sacred Awakened One. This is Monica Bermudez, an intuitive quantum energy healer. I am coming on this video for my YouTube channel to talk about a theme as we just completed a full moon cycle for a sign of Libra in the month of April. And it definitely does feel like this completing cycle of injustice, and I want to talk a theme about the ego versus the higher self and the sacred union of the two. The importance of this message is, it's coming in very intuitive channel because of the times that we're in right now. There is certainly a lot of chaos going on, a lot of tension, let's just say. Some of it with people you may know around you who are more intense, more confrontational than before. And there's a lot of that going on. So it's even with like people you don't know, like you see it out in the streets, right, with other people. And it's just a rise. This is what I'm experiencing personally. So I don't know if all of you are also experiencing the same thing, but I would love to hear your comments as well. And so there's just so much intensity. So because of, this so much of this conflict going on, that I would advise to just not put yourself in the way, in other words, of that confrontational energy. It's a lower vibrational energy. So if you can, just don't put yourself in that same confrontational frequency of energy. Keep yourself calm. And also about, getting away from like the people who just like no longer serve you. Doesn't matter if it's someone that you consider to be blood family, because you can't have, this kind of type of energy anymore. It's just like this tolerance is no more, And there has to be this level of understanding as well when it comes to healthy boundaries. And if people are not getting it, then that's, a sign that maybe it's good to part ways in whatever way that is. Because when, let's just use an example of the parent with the children, right? Nobody is obligated to be forced to go or forced, to help someone else if you don't have the means, if you don't have, the way to do it, or if you feel this calling in your heart where there is more of this independence. And so listening to that heart is where it's calling you. So there is no need for others to also be guilt tripping you or trying to shame you because you don't help them, or because they want to project their feelings or project the fact that you're supposed to be a certain way. You don't have to be a certain way because someone else says it. And it doesn't matter if it's your family who's projecting this on you, if it's someone blood related to you, okay? Doesn't matter if it's your friend, doesn't matter, neighbor, whatever it may be, whoever it feels like they have this power over you. So there is a bit of this power struggle going on right now with this, because as we are building up, okay, we're building up with this solar eclipse energy that is in the new moon sign. And so I feel like there is more of this rise of energy where others feel like they can overpower themselves on you because they feel that they have a reason to feel more empowered than you, and to be confrontational or just be passive aggressive. And being passive aggressive is also just another form of being confrontational. Passive aggressive people are just that they just don't even like acknowledge that you're there, and they do stuff, behind the scenes, or do other things that in a way that kind of hurts you. And so just being like that silent aggression type thing. So I definitely feel that because of this rise of this solar eclipse, because the solar eclipse, for all eclipse energies are very transformational energies as well. And the effects of the energies last for 6 months. So there's definitely a lot of revelation and shocking type of energy that occurs with this solar eclipse. And so it serves as this also like completing cycle as well, because as you're setting these new intentions, right, for these new frequencies on earth, as you're manifesting in a 5D way, that you're more powerful with your intentions, and there's more emphasis on the actions that you're taking. So getting into what goes in line with this whole theme of the ego and the higher self. And as we're approaching also like this Easter, which also serves as a portal, because Easter represents as the resurrection from cosmic Yeshua. You see, Lord Sananda is the name of the higher aspect of cosmic Yeshua, and the name Jesus is the name, his human name, I guess the way that would be pronounced in English. But I like to refer to him as Cosmic Master Yeshua, because that is where we're all being upgraded to become these avatars, these masters. And in order to be a master, of course, we all have to go through the trial and error of being human. And the key is learning from those trials and errors and navigating in them. And just because you're a master doesn't mean you're perfect either. That means you're still learning, and you understand that you're still learning. And that is the key to being the master, right? Having experienced these human lifetimes, experience these human way of being with the friction, the confrontation, and just learning how to keep yourself balanced, even in the midst of all the shadow, the chaos, and being heart-centered. So being a master is just knowing how to keep yourself balanced and heart-centered, even in the midst of others who just want to attack you and say words to you, or say that you are, lesser in however way they want to proclaim, or project themselves on you. But usually the people who project themselves on you and want to just, throw these words at you are people who are also wounded. And we've all been wounded, and we all carry, a lot of these subconscious patterns of these wounded hearts. But, the key is stop playing the victim. Start embracing your creative side, okay? Because if you're always going to be playing the victim, if you're always going to be crying about what others have said to you, or feeling, triggered in that way, then it will just make it more difficult and harder. Right now with these new frequencies of energies that we are asking, to be more in our creative stance, to be more empowered of who we are, because we are much more. We have such greater power within us of this creative force of energy. And it all just starts in the heart. But if you're coming from a wounded heart, then it's going to come off as being this victim heart energy, and it's going to project itself on others that way, and it will also attract others in that way to you. And I've been there myself. I've been in that state. I know what it's like, okay? And I'm not saying here, that I'm perfect or anything like that. I am just providing guidance and, with a loving support of information that just needs to be shared. So when it comes to the ego, those are, and this is, the lower vibrational form of the ego that is still also evolving, because I don't really believe in this whole thing about killing the ego. I believe more in the transformational aspect of the ego. So yeah, some people may refer to it as the ego death, but in that death comes a rebirth, which is why, this message is so appropriate for this Easter message, which is a portal of this resurrection energy, and that we are being very supported of right now. And the Good Friday was also another portal. I certainly felt a lot of energies coming through, a lot through my crown into the third eye, and The reason why they are considered to be portals, because they have been generating tons of energy for a long time now. And you have people from all around the world acknowledging this or being aware of it. And, those who are the mystics as well, they pour in whatever energy in whatever way that is. Those who are the light workers, the starseed, we're all working in a different way, but yet, all with the same information that comes from our own source connection, our own soul essence. That is our higher self, our higher guidance, which is why, it is so important that I just emphasize so much the heart center, because that is where it all starts. And that is our celebration, our own uniqueness, because each and every one of us who has a higher self within us, within our own heart, is unique in our own way. But yet, in that uniqueness of each other, we are coming together, weaving the energies together for this new earth frequency of energies. And that is where I wish that we would all come together and be emphasized and focus our energy and our attention in that. Giving that love, because the more of us that come together and do this, the greater it is for us to be in this higher vibrational timeline of frequencies of energy on this earth, for things to come out in a much more smooth way that would serve the planet and serve you, serve others and humanity, and as well as the divinity within your own heart. So, of course, it just takes work. But just know that anything is possible, and all solutions are possible in whatever way that is. But just remember not to tear down others as well. And if you do, just acknowledge that. Be responsible for that outburst. And I speak for myself too. And I acknowledge that I am responsible for saying certain things. But I don't regret it, because I know that if I say something and someone gets triggered, that is also another key and activation of an awakening, of the different layers of awakening. Even for the ones who say that I already know, and I already studied this, and I already know this, right? But if the message is coming off in a way that doesn't sound like it does, then there's still something there. Because if someone who is being triggered, emotionally getting upset, then that is a sign of another trigger, another layer that is just being activated and being awakened. And I speak to myself too about this, because I have been there where I've been triggered by others. But I actually do now take the time to really acknowledge that within myself. Will I react to the other's anger, as they are throwing words at me? Maybe, but if I do, I'm responsible for that action. I'm responsible for my reaction. And that goes for anybody. Be responsible for how you react to others. But just remember that don't be stuck in this victim energy, okay? Because that is not going to go anywhere. It's just going to make it worse. Embrace the creative side within yourself. The ego, being attached constantly to certain emotions. The emotion of being angry, right? To the point that you're going to be passive aggressive. These are just examples of some of the attributes, right? Being stuck in this victim energy, another one. And being just upset about or being triggered, easily. Always in this emotional state of, and it could be really tricky sometimes, because it could tell you that you know this and that. But the higher self the voice within your own heart, the aspect of your soul essence, is the one that is balanced, that is loving, and that knows what's best within your own soul contract and what is in alignment with you. And that may be lessons that you're learning at this time on this earth. So that is your creative side also, embracing that side of you in a creative way, and also knowing how to detach from certain emotions. Okay, it's normal, right, to just have this attachment, right, as a human. But knowing that in that attachment, there is another way, a part of you that's also detaching in the sense that you're more balanced. So here's the other key and the message that comes, from this whole Easter portal message, because it's always gaining momentum every year. And this year in particular has gained a lot of momentum. The union of the two, the sacred union. The ego can be attributed to the masculine side. It could be transformed to be its own divine masculine, because the ego also is, a necessity as part of our physical form that we are here on this earth. It is our structure as well. And the higher self is our flowing energy of our divine feminine energy, or feminine side of us. When these two come in their own holy matrimony, their sacred union of the alchemical wedding, and they become marriage in a sacred way, these two become this powerful force of energy that is a balanced state of a master on this earth. That you're able to navigate even through all the chaos that surrounds you. You're able to, let's say, for example, meditate even when there's noise around, like literally. If you can still keep your focus, even when there is noise around you, that is a type of mastery. So it's being able to filter the chaos, but still being able to navigate the chaos, and understanding and being self-aware when you may be triggered along the way. There's still stuff, that comes up. We're all just still learning. So have that compassion for one another, including yourself, for making it this far, for learning, for even wanting to learn and, just continue to expand and grow in that way. Okay, all we can do is just do our best also. And that is, how we thrive, how we succeed as a human. And we all celebrate in this unity consciousness together within our own purity of our own sacred union, sacred heart within our heart center. We bring it back to our heart center. That has always been the key to the ascension. So just remember that. I just really wanted to share this intuitive channel message with you that I was really feeling strong to share with you. So if you feel inspired, you like this message, click like, share with others, and click the subscribe button so you can hear more messages like this. And just know that you always have support from your guidance. However, you also have to be willing to make that change in yourself, the willingness to know, what it is that you come to learn. And I send this message to you with so much love in my heart, to you and to all. Much love to you, and I will catch you in another video, which I'll be sharing some more inspirational messages and other meditation messages as well. as I try to improve more of some of the equipment to get better with some of the music in the meditation itself. And if you haven't seen in the description area, I have information about the upcoming Circle of Quantum Conscious Creators, which is the new moon ritual that's going to occur during the solar eclipse new moon portal. It's going to be some very powerful transmissions coming through for that. So join us for that powerful Circle of Quantum Conscious Creators, and I look forward to connecting with you. So much love to you and gratitude. Take care. Bye.